Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and there is a hidden connection in Deadpool and Wolverine that has been staring us right in the face that could unlock how this movie connects to Avengers Endgame. I cracked this code by looking far deeper into the trailer footage for Deadpool and Wolverine than any YouTuber or sane adult really should, and by just unwinding with my wife by watching the amazing FX documentary series Welcome to Wrexham. That was supposed to be the show that I watched when I clocked out for the day. But wait a damn second! This docuseries' background might have accidentally revealed Ryan Reynolds' production timeline and surprise cameos he has in store for Deadpool and Wolverine. So I realized I might be the only person who cares this much about Deadpool and Wolverine, who also watches Welcome to Wrexham this insanely, who also knows all the faces and the relationships of the people in the background of these shots, and how weird it would be that they would just so happen to be attending Ryan Reynolds Football Club's matches in Wales in April 2023, right as production was underway for Deadpool 3. So I kinda have to make this video.
It's like I was made for this.
So let's break down exactly how Deadpool and Wolverine will connect to Avengers Endgame by learning a bit about Wrexham AFC. So the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine will connect in some way to Avengers Endgame seems like a foregone conclusion, right? Even if the big portal shot that ends the Like a Prayer trailer doesn't lead to the Battle of Earth, I think in some other way this film will feature Wolverine and Deadpool crossing over into that battle. The way Deadpool says,
I am Marvel Jesus.
seems like it's really setting him up to eventually recreate Tony Stark's big line, I am Iron Man. Summer's gonna be here real soon, and if you wanna make the most out of whatever travel you've got planned, you should get Babbel. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world with lessons designed by real language teachers. Babbel's method is simple. It teaches you real-world conversations so you're prepared to have practical conversations about travel, business, relationships, and more. You're not gonna start with like verb conjugations. You'll get to that, but it's just gonna start with like what you'll use in a kind of a day-to-day scenario. Even if you're brand new to a language, Babbel is scientifically proven to be able to get you started speaking a new language in 3 weeks, using it for just 10 minutes a day. That's it. Aprendo español. Puedes repetir? Babbel makes learning a new language easy and fun, but if it's not a good fit for you, Babbel offers a 20-day money-back guarantee. But trust me, you will want a Babbel subscription. Just click the link in the description below to get 60% off your Babbel subscription today. The recent article in Empire featured some quotes from Kevin Feige and director Shawn Levy that the biggest MCU movies would be on the table. And I don't know if you saw this, but VFX artist Taryn Singh made an incredible fan render of what Deadpool and Wolverine's participation in that battle could look like. But also, in our past breakdowns of Deadpool and Wolverine footage, I pointed out the numerous references Ryan Reynolds has made to his Wrexham Football Club. In the first trailer, in Wade's locker, when he's working as a used car salesman, is a sticker for this black magpie. This is the logo for Notts County, the football club that was Wrexham's biggest rival in the National League in the 2022 to 2023 season in their bids to make it out of the 5th tier National League up into Tier 2. Wrexham and Notts County have a wholesome respect for each other, and the show makes a case for why Notts County was equally deserving of moving up. In that same Super Bowl trailer, when Mr. Paradox shows Wade the video wall, in the lower left corner is Deadpool accepting an Emmy statuette, which is a video Ryan Reynolds actually made in January 2024 as an Emmy acceptance speech for Welcome to Wrexham's first season. The first season came out in August 2022 and documented the previous year's season of 2021 to 2022. And then in the Like a Prayer trailer, in the opening scene of Deadpool finding Wolverine in the bar, is standing Ollie Palmer, Wrexham AFC's striker, all 6'5" of him. Now there is another guy sitting at the table right next to Ollie who only ever faces away from us, and it wouldn't surprise me if that guy ends up being another familiar face, like maybe another player on the team, or that guy who runs the pub, or like Rob Liefeld, who did cameo in the Sister Margaret's bar in the 2016 film. So a bit of background on Welcome to Wrexham if you're not familiar. Welcome to Wrexham features Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Mythic Quest, as the two of them partner with Mythic Quest co-star Humphrey Hurd to take over ownership of the Welsh football club Wrexham AFC on a bid to take the team from the 5th tier National League up into Tier 2 of the EFL, and hopefully someday all the way to the top of Premier League. The show is currently on its 3rd season, or 3rd series as those of you in the UK call it, documenting the 2023 to 2024 football season that just ended. While in the first season, Ryan Reynolds appeared as more of a publicity frontman and angel investor as Wrexham was going through its 2021 to 2022 football season. When it moved on to season 2, Ryan Ryan Reynolds started to attend far more of the matches because from fall 2022 through spring 2023, Ryan Reynolds was in the UK doing pre-production and production for Deadpool and Wolverine, which took place at Pinewood Studios, which is not that far away. Now, Ryan Reynolds has mastered the art of cross-promotion. A big part of his ownership of Wrexham AFC is leveraging not just his Deadpool fame, but his stake in Aviation Gin and Mint Mobile to promote this club. So Ollie Palmer cameoing in this movie is really just part of that strategy. But if you watch Welcome to Wrexham closely, you do start to see Deadpool and Wolverine production crew and potential actors in Ryan Reynolds' orbit in the background that at first seems like it might just be, paranoid mania, until you realize, wait, this actually lines up perfectly with what we are seeing in the actual movie. Now, the obvious sightings that Welcome to Wrexham doesn't even try to hide include the recent season 3 premiere, Welcome to the EFL, which shows Hugh Jackman, who attends, along with Ryan Reynolds, Wrexham's season opener match against Milton Keynes Dons, a match that took place on August 5th, 2023. But also attending this match, they briefly show Ryan Reynolds talking to Alex Kishkovich, Reynolds' longtime Deadpool stunt double. While Reynolds often dons the suit himself for comedic beats, it's really Alex who follows Ryan Reynolds' fitness and diet regimen very closely, who wears the suit for all the stunts, like the shots of Deadpool dodging Wolverine's punches and the Tobey Maguire Joe Manganiello fight choreography from the first Spider-Man movie that we saw in the Like a Prayer trailer. That was probably Alex for that shot. Of course, Deadpool 3 director Shawn Levy appears in Ryan Reynolds' box at a number of home games that are shown throughout season 2. This would be while the two of these guys were doing pre-production for the film in spring 2023. That is why Shawn Levy was there. But the big cameos were during the home match against Boreham Wood on April 22nd, 2023, which was featured in the season 2 finale, Up the Town. It was a very big game for Wrexham. And a recent video that we did, I pointed out that a video that Ryan Reynolds posted to social media of him hugging Rob McElhenney was recorded by Paul Rudd. And when you watch the season 2 finale episode, you can see that not only is Paul Rudd joining them, so is Joe Russo. So Joe Russo, with his brother Anthony Russo, directed Avengers Endgame, and before that, Avengers Infinity War, Captain America Civil War, and Captain America the Winter Soldier. And in that video we released last week, I suggested a theory, not really taking the theory too seriously, that the Joe's Diner that appears in a trailer that many online were incorrectly identifying as Joe's Pizza from Spider-Man 2 in 2004 might actually refer to some other Joe, like comics writer Joe Quesada or Joe Russo. Only because Joe Russo loves to cameo in Marvel movies. And he doesn't just cameo in movies he directs, but for example, he cameoed as a restaurant owner in the Tom Holland movie Cherry, which was produced by the Russo brothers production company Agbo. So for Paul Rudd to appear at a Wrexham game, I'm willing to look at that as, it's just another well-liked celebrity comedian joining two other celebrity comedians at a sporting event, no big deal. Like, we should also note that Will Ferrell attended a match back in the season 1 featured May 22nd, 2022 match Wrexham versus Bromley, the FA Trophy final at Wembley Stadium, and Will Ferrell was like mugging for the camera throughout the episode. I don't think that means Will Ferrell is going to appear in Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, Ferrell attends Lakers games all the time, and this match was in London, and they also had Kit Harington there, and David Beckham, and Ted Lasso, Jason Sudeikis. It was also all the way back in May 2022, a year before Deadpool and Wolverine production began. But Joe Russo, from what I could tell, had zero prior relationship with Ryan Reynolds or Rob McElhenney or with Wrexham, and would have no other reason to join Paul Rudd in a 4-hour drive from London to Wrexham in April 2023. And before we say, hey, it was Wrexham, everyone's crazy about the show. Not back then. In April 2023, only the show's first season had aired at that point, to pretty small ratings. It didn't really become that well known until this past fall, when the second season was airing and Wrexham AFC started to do really well, and the series won its Emmys in January 2024. Now, there is one possible connection I could see here. McElhenney's co-star and partner Humphrey Kerr is married to Megan Gans, who is the head writer for Mythic Quest and wrote on Always Sunny, and before that she wrote on Community and wrote some of the best episodes of that show that the Russo brothers directed. And Megan shows up in the background of the previous episode, which showed Wrexham's April 18th, 2023 match against Yeovil Town, which featured Always Sunny cast members Charlie Day, Glenn Howerton, and Caitlin Olsen in attendance as well. Their careers have veered in vastly different directions in the past 10 years, so I don't think that's really the connection there. This is just a long way of saying, while Deadpool and Wolverine was shooting just a couple hours away, Avengers Endgame co-director Joe Russo and Paul Rudd just happened to be hanging out with Ryan Reynolds in the UK for some reason. And now Deadpool and Wolverine footage confirms that we are getting sightings of Scott Lang and shoutouts to Paul Rudd himself by name.
Paul Rudd finally aged.
Now, it is true that Joe Russo and other directors like him are all the time invited to visit sets and look over scripts and concept art and animation previs of other movies that they have nothing to do with, just as a courtesy to weigh in and offer notes, that kind of thing. I think that is actually more likely to be the reason Joe Russo would be around the Deadpool and Wolverine production. But if so, that would tell us that the production would benefit from Russo's advice on sequences that he is truly an expert in. And I feel like it's just another sign that Deadpool and Wolverine will restage part of the Battle of Earth in Avengers Endgame, which Joe Russo constructed the visuals of. One theory I posed is that the Endgame plot hole of the extra giant man in the background of the battle that pushed Leviathan through a giant sling ring portal while Scott Lang was with Hope Van Dyne in the Ant Van might actually be justified by this movie as one of the many logical paradoxes from MCU past that end up sent to this post-incursion wasteland, and that glitch in the Matrix redundant Scott Lang is the same giant man corpse featured in Deadpool and Wolverine. And to make sure that story logic and the visuals all lined up, they would need not just Paul Rudd, but Joe Russo to look over all of it. So in this movie that is increasingly promising to cross over into MCU movies like Avengers Endgame, and with the clues we've spotted so far that Welcome to Wrexham is required viewing for Deadpool and Wolverine, Joe Russo and Paul Rudd showing up with Ryan Reynolds when the movie was being produced isn't just another celebrity cameo that we can ignore. So between this and my obsession with the fact that Ryan Reynolds and Shawn Levy and Hugh Jackman showed up with Taylor Swift in the box at the Chiefs-Jets game in October 2023, this kind of unhinged analysis of celebrity attendance at sporting events is either gonna make me look really stupid or pay off in the biggest way. Comment down below with your thoughts on this. Follow me at EA Voss, subscribe to all 3 channels of the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, bye.